You ever just hit that point where you cannot edit another frame? You dread opening Resolve, and even watching YouTube just feels like a chore? Yeah, that's burnout, and it sucks. But here's the wild part. Burnout isn't just about doing too much. It's about forgetting why you started in the first place. By the way, I'm Ethan. I've done millions of views across the content that I've made for various channels, and this video editing thing I do is all I do all day long. So let's talk about what burnout actually is, and why loving your craft might be the most powerful burnout prevention tool you're not using. Burnout doesn't just show up like a punch in the face, right? It creeps in very quietly. You're still putting in the hours and you're still uploading, but that spark, it's just gone, I guess. That's because burnout isn't just about fatigue. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's disconnection. Disconnection from purpose, joy, and meaning. And I know that sounds just like really corny and probably a little dramatic, but when you're disconnected, even easy tasks feel impossible. And I know you can relate to that. But here's where it flips. Burnout actually shows up differently when you're in love with the process. There's no denying that when you're chasing likes, content, and clients, it's a grind. It's really, really tiring. But what happens when you're chasing curiosity? Progress feels energizing and not draining. You know? Here's the trick that no one talks about, and I've seen a lot of people talk about this indirectly or just not mention this specific thing at all. The people who last the longest in creative fields are the ones who find a way to fall in love with the process over and over and over again, even if they do burn out a little bit in the meantime, and that's okay. It's like, think of it as being in a long-term relationship with your craft, you know what I mean? It's not gonna go anywhere, but it's okay to take a little bit of a break or step back from the practice every once in a while. You're not always on fire, but the flame never truly dies. And that's why taking a break isn't giving up, it's just maintaining the relationship. We treat breaks like a backup plan, like something you do after everything's gone wrong. But pros, they treat breaks like part of the system. When you can allow yourself to take guilt-free time off, your brain still processes problems in the background. You come back fresher and sharper, and often with a whole new perspective. Because you wouldn't expect an athlete to train 12 hours a day without rest, right? So why do you expect that from your creative brain? But there's a lot of people working in different creative fields doing different jobs. What if your burnout isn't from overwork, but working on the wrong things? Well, in that case, you might not need a break. You might need a shift. Maybe it's the same style, the same clients, the same stories. Creative monotony is a silent killer. It really is. Try something totally different, even if it's just for fun. It can really reset your brain like nothing else. Play rewires the burnout cycle. This is why people go and party over the weekends. Play and a little bit of curiosity breaks the loop. So if you've stopped having fun, that's not a sign to quit. It's a sign to maybe shake things up. Burnout isn't failure. It's just your way of giving yourself feedback. That's all. It's your brain saying, hey, this used to light me up. Let's find that again, right? So yes, rest. Yes, pause. But also, reconnect. Reconnect with the part of you that used to get excited to create. Because if you still love it, even just a little, you've still got something worth saving 100%. Burnout happens less when you love the work. But loving the work, sometimes that takes work too. So if this hit home, take a breath. Then go make one thing just for you.